fucking right to the early morning. Yeah. No, this ain't no love song. This gon' be the soundtrack. Baby, you gon' fall back. That's the way we get.
What is going on YouTube? This Cops360 here, and as I sit here and I chomp on my pods from Mars, beautiful pieces of food, mate. Pods are awesome. I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, since when on consoles did frame rate and resolution matter so much? This argument has just escalated with this new generation of consoles. I might have talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it here in depth, dedicate a whole video to it. Now, firstly, PS4, everyone knows it's a bit more powerful than the Xbox One. Therefore, it can dish out some more resolution, dish out sometimes better graphics than the Xbox One. Though the difference between, you know, the actual raw graphics, I'm not talking about resolution, but just like graphics to graphics, like textures and all that stuff, it varies depending on the game. Sorry for that. However, when we talk about stuff like frame rate and resolution, this is something that honestly just come out of nowhere. It's just escalated. When you go back to the 7th generation of consoles, 360, PS3, this argument never came up at all. Never. Was never even spoken of. It just wasn't. Frame rate, I don't even think people cared about frame rate at all on 360 and PS3, because as long as it was at 30, I assume it was 30 or maybe 60 on Call of Duty or whatever, people didn't care about it. And people, I don't know, it's like as soon as this has come out, the new generation of consoles, all of a sudden, you know, oh, let's talk about resolution, let's talk about frame rate, let's get into the depth of the consoles. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about the GPU, the CPU, how many gigahertz everything runs at. All this shit, it wasn't talked about in the 7th generation of consoles. And it's interesting because you see channels like IGN. IGN pushes it the most. They just push the console wars the most easily. You go on this most IGN videos, man, they're pretty much a console war baiting. That's essentially what they're doing, man. They're just waiting for people to come into the comment section and just argue about Xbox One and PS4, and they talk and in the comments they talk about, oh, Xbox 720p, or they talk about, oh, the PS4 doesn't have SRAM, or DDR3, GDDR5, as if they're just throwing shit out there. Now, granted, I will admit, Xbox One, yeah, sure, it's not as powerful. But someone that commented on my recent video pointed this out, and this is a very good argument. Games, how the power of a console does not determine which console will win the console war. That's pretty much what I'm going to say. I think even Review Tech USA, some other YouTuber, I think he's really big, said the exact same thing. Back like generations and generations ago, during some consoles where I probably wasn't even born, I think the most powerful console didn't even touch the most popular console. Even though that more popular console was weaker, the other one didn't touch it. Now, obviously, this is a different scenario, but you can apply the same concepts. Just because the PS4 is more powerful doesn't mean everyone's going to jump into the PS4 ship. Now, I think PS4 started off very well in sales. It's quite a bit ahead of Xbox One. However, Xbox have a lot of time to change things around. They have a lot of time. It is not over truly until it's over. I mean, you look at the PS3 and the 360. 360, I'm pretty sure was just dominating from the start, from the get-go, and they did it for years and years and years. And then PS3 slowly crept up and up and up and up. And yeah, and now to this day they're about pretty close to each other. I'm not sure who's ahead of who. It doesn't really matter now anyway. It's irrelevant. But yeah, getting back to the original argument, no one was talking about frame rates, but it's not like people saw the Wii and like, oh god no, the Wii resolution is horrible, man, I'm not buying that. No, that's not what happened at all. Wii was just a beast in sales when it first came out. Wii just demolished 360 and PS3. Just absolutely raped, demolished, just pummeled, hit to the ground and stomped on them over and over and over again. It took quite a while for both consoles to eventually catch up and overtake the Wii, if they even did overtake them. I'm pretty sure they did, but yeah, you get where I'm coming from. So when people talk about, oh, Xbox 720p, no one likes it, it's not going to sell because it's got bad graphics, bad frame rate. Nah, it's not like that, guys. Games are more important than graphics, if you get what I mean. The gameplay is more important than graphics. You just take a look at the game like DayZ. It's not the best looking game. However, I would say DayZ, even in alpha, is better than Crysis 3. Crysis 3 is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. However, the game doesn't feel nice to play, if you get what I mean. The Crysis series looks so good, but it just doesn't look that good. Now, going back to frame rates and all that stuff, can you guys honestly, if you're a console gamer, honestly tell me, you were playing at 30 frames per second on the 360 and the PS3, with the odd exception of like a game like COD or something. Could you honestly, when you played on the 360 and you played the same game on the PS3, could you honestly tell the difference? Like, was it really game defining? You're playing an Xbox One now, you used to play a 360, or you're playing a PS4 now, you used to play a PS3. Can you honestly, is it game defining to you? Is it that much of a difference to you? I highly, highly, highly doubt that. Especially if you're playing on the console. If you're playing on the computer, PC, the whole argument's different. Frame rate is pretty important on the PC, because the frame rate jumps a lot, up and down, up and down. And a lot of people do not want to use VSync, which will cap the frame rate at 30, 60, or I think it might go up to 120, depending on what kind of VSync you're using. But yeah, something like that on PC is more important, but on console, when it's either capped to 30 or 60, honestly, man, it should not be game defining to you. It shouldn't be. It really should not be. It's just a stupid argument now. And then when you talk about resolution, oh, this runs at 900p, so this is shit. Or this runs at 1080p, but it's upscaled to 1080p. Or just, I feel like I'm an Xbox fanboy at the moment, but I'm just trying to explain to you guys why it's not as important as you think. Especially, look, with resolution. If you're playing on a console, chances are you're playing on a decent sized TV. Let's say you have a 40-inch TV. That's a bit average, I guess. I don't know. Say you just have a 40-inch TV. If you're playing at 720p or 900p, maybe between 720p and 1080p, you might be able to tell the difference. But if you're playing at, say, 900p versus 1080p, and you're playing from a distance, I highly doubt you'd be like, I need those extra lines of pixels, otherwise this game looks trash. No, it's not like that. I highly, highly, highly doubt that. You're playing from a distance. It's not like you're up in the TV screen, all up in its junk, looking straight up at the pixels, mate. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Resolution, once again, just like frame rate, matters on something more like PC, because you're up close to the monitor. You're essentially at the monitor, face value, like a computer. You're at it. If you're running at 720p on like a 24 or 25 inch screen, you will tell the difference between that and 1080p. You will be able to tell the difference. That's why something like 1440p is becoming pretty big on PC at the moment. And look, even AMD with the R9 290X, you're pushing that as a 4K graphics card. That's just nuts at the moment. But yeah, so when you want to talk about resolution and you want to talk about consoles and resolution, just think about that, guys. It's not the same as on a PC where you're up close to it. You're from a distance, and it just gets really, honestly, if you're playing on the big screen TV, the only reason you'll be able to tell the difference between, say, 900p and 1080p is if you got like a massive screen TV, like something really big. Then 720p might not look that good at all. But something like 900p would look still pretty good, and honestly the difference would be negligible. That should not be a reason as to why you choose a console. I've said this before and I'll say it again, that you should choose a console based on what your friends have. You want to have fun. Don't fucking be like, oh nah, I don't want to get this console because I like the other one more. It puts out more graphics, or it makes me watch TV, or it's got ES RAM. No, shut the fuck up. Just choose what your friends do. Get together and just fucking choose a console, and don't fucking go on IGN and shit like that and then complain about resolution and all that shit, when at the end of the day that's not what's gonna determine who wins the console wars. It's just not. So anyway, guys, man, I needed to get that out there because, man, I'm so sick of seeing everywhere on just all kinds of videos, oh, it's over for the Xbox One, or PS4 is dominating. I feel like an Xbox fanboy saying this, but that's not what I'm trying to convey. I don't own an Xbox One. I don't even own an Xbox 360 anymore. The only console I have in my house is a PS3. That's my brother's. But that's what I'm trying to say, guys. It's not over until it's over. Unless Microsoft just fucked themselves over, like, again, keep on doing stupid stuff, then maybe then. But as for now, I haven't even started. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.